Hey guys, Dave here. Alright, I realized for the first time in a while now, I think I can actually do a theory video, or at least explaining something about a superhero that's going to be on a show like Legends of Tomorrow, and I don't have to give a spoiler warning. Now, just in case, for those of you that haven't heard, coming up in Season 2 of Legends of Tomorrow, and there's going to be a Season 2, a man calling himself Rex Tyler, a member of the Justice Society of America, will be in fact joining the crew of the Wave Rider. Of course, in the comics, we also know him as Hourman. So, today, currently in Central Florida, the lightning capital of the United States, I don't like getting on the computer when the storms are coming. I mean, I've done surge protectors, I've done battery backups. We're in Lightning Alley, and this is a lightning rod. So I try. So hopefully whenever the storm passes, I'll finally be able to get this bad boy up to you guys. So hopefully enjoy that. Everything should be alright, hopefully. But to take my mind off the impending storm that's coming and the crap load of rain we're about to get, I thought I'd dedicate this video to telling you guys about Rex Tyler, aka Hourman. Now, Hourman is actually one of the more interesting characters. He's one of the original members of the Justice Society of America. He actually was a very interesting guy. Rex Tyler was a chemist that worked at a company. Eventually, one he actually created called Tyler Co. or Tyler Chem, depending on which version you want to read. He created essentially a super vitamin that he found that once taken would actually give a person, or even animals, increased superhuman strength, speed, leaping ability, durability, endurance, effectively being bulletproof enough to take small arms fire and not be hurt by them, as well as enhancing all 5 senses, lung capacity so you can actually withstand being underwater for a long period of time, and even night vision so you can see in the dark. So all your senses are enhanced, all your physical abilities are enhanced, and you feel on top of the world. So he realized that this was too powerful a thing to just put out in the open market. So he decided to become a superhero. Actually, the funny thing is, back in the day, way before computers and social networks, he was actually one of the first superheroes to use social media to fight crimes. Yeah, he would actually put out an ad in the paper saying, "Are you in trouble? Are you in need of help? Can the police not help you? Then contact the man of the hour, and then he might be able to help." So he'd have people contact him through a newspaper ad. He'd meet up, hear their story, and if there was anything to it, he'd go investigate and save the day as Hourman. Now, it's kind of gone back and forth about the power and limitations of the pills. Basically, back in the day, it was equivalent of like the Golden Age Superman before he could fly, but he could leap really far. It enhanced you physically, and it was really very kind of cool to see what he could do and how much he could do within that hour's time. So he had to beat the bad guy before his powers ran out. So it was interesting too, because the way his powers affected him, there were side effects. He did become an addict to Miraclo. I mean, sometimes he showed actual withdrawal symptoms when he wasn't on it, and when he did take it, he was powerful, confident. He felt on top of the world, invincible. And it's actually been interesting because they've done different things with the storylines to show about the power, but responsibility and possible negative side effects, and there have been a few with it. Back in the day, originally, if he took Miraclo, he could only take it once every 24 hours. Eventually, though, he worked out other things. Instead of being able to take a pill that he got addicted to, he'd use a Miraclo ray to activate the residual stuff in his system without those same side effects. Eventually, he also developed another formula where if he did take Miraclo and got the hour of power, he simply had to wait a whole other hour before he could take it again to get any powers at all. So, that was actually quite interesting. And, but like I said, it showed a lot of different things about how, the process of being, dependent upon a super drug to give you your powers for a short time it's really been interesting the way it's been played. And he was the first Hourman. Rick Tyler, his son, also eventually became a hero. the second Hourman. But Rick also was known that, believe it or not, both of them ended up getting a hold of a little hourglass that used to be something that they actually put their Miraclo pills in. But the hourglass symbol also had actually tachyons within it. And Rick was notable for this, that it would give him flashes of future vision where he would see that something was going to come 1 hour in the future. So he would have a chance to prepare himself for what was going to happen and try to time things out. So it was independent of taking the Miraclo. So he didn't have to take the Miraclo to get the future visions. There was other stuff involved, like when Rex eventually died, he was given essentially a chance to be stuck in a place for like an hour outside of time. And whenever Rick was like hurt or needed to just see his dad about something, he would go there in segments to see his father. But knowing once that 60 minutes was up, his dad would be gone. It was sad, but they tried to make the most out of it. It's a really interesting thing. There was even a third Hourman, believe it or not, in the 853rd century. He was basically the closest thing we could call him to would be an android or a synthetic being. His name was Matthew Tyler. He actually, this is a point when technology is so advanced, the genetic coding of organics, particularly Rex Tyler, were intermingled with machinery on like a nanotech level. So he was an android, but he had a lot of the genetic memories and experiences of Rex Tyler. He also had, not only his physicality was able to repair itself like a nano-powered android, but he also had a device called the Whirligog, which gave him like ultimate mastery over time. Realizing that it was mankind's situation of overcoming obstacles that made them better, he gave that power up for just a fraction of it, called the Hour of Power. So it would have the same powers of time as the Whirligog, but he could only access it for 60 minutes at any relative time. So he was the one that gifted Rick and Rex with the tachyon hourglass. So there's a lineage there. And so it's a lot of very cool stuff. Eventually, Rex, he realized that there would be a problem with people trying to get a hold of this drug and use it for the wrong purposes. He eventually repurposed the formula to where he would get the most out of it because it was tuned to his genetic structure. That's why he and Rick were able to get the most out of it. If anyone else took it, they would be only about half as successful, but half of a low-level Superman is still nothing to sneeze at. Here's some interesting trivia about Miraclo. In the pre-New 52 storyline, or timeline, before things changed up, Bane actually came to Hourman to try to find out about this company that was making new batches of Venom and creating their own drug-powered super soldiers. They discovered that the corporate company that had gotten a hold of, was making these things, actually found Rex's original Miraclo formula, and although couldn't quite duplicate it perfectly, used the formula as the basis to create Venom, the drug that empowers Bane. Needless to say, Bane at the time was actually against anyone else using Venom and saw what kind of a monster it could turn people into, so he was actually on the crusade to try to destroy any and all trace of it. Also, in the series, more recent series in comics, Earth 2, where Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman had died to save the world and from the forces of Apocalypse, and a new group of Wonders, essentially originally like the Justice Society characters, but reborn in modern times, dealing with a war against Apocalypse rather than World War II. We're sitting here. A very interesting second person that came out as the Batman in this world, Thomas Wayne, who was the the father of Bruce Wayne. Everyone thought that he died in that alley. Turned out he actually faked being dead and was going against the mobsters that actually set up the hit. But after his son Bruce died, one thing he was doing was he had found out about this formula, Miraclo, from Rex Tyler. And he'd been using it. He was over 60 years old. But to make up for the lack of training and physicality, he wasn't just popping Miraclo pills. He was injecting it straight up. And he didn't get weight either. I mean, essentially, once his power hour ran out, he would just shoot himself up again. And he was horribly addicted. It was not pretty. It really wasn't. I mean, it's kind of frightening to see what kind of potential that could be done. Here's something else that's kind of funny. A lot of people have been talking about back on season 2 of the show Arrow. I know. We're trying to go before everything became really bad and saturated with olicity. I said olicity. People are already starting to chime in on my Twitter. Wow. See, they're listening. Anyway, on the Arrowverse, one thing that I've actually addressed before and other people have wondered about was the super drug that was found at the Japanese submarine found off the coast of Lianyu, known as Mirakuru, which was Japanese for miracle. Given the properties of increased strength, senses, durability, and healing, was this a connection to Miraclo? Did that mean we were going to see Hourman? In fact, in 2013, there were talks of trying to develop an Hourman TV show, but it was eventually canned, so we ended up getting what we now know as the Arrowverse on TV today. But, speaking within the universe's logic, it wouldn't be surprising at all if, in fact, since it was during around the time of World War II, what if Rex Tyler's original formula of Miraclo was created by him, but stolen by the Japanese and repurposed as Mirakuru? Maybe this version that this incarnation of Rex Tyler has is going to be refined a bit. Maybe it'll have all the benefits of Mirakuru, but the 1 hour time limit is part of what's going to keep the body from creating the physical deformities, the bone growths, or the mental instabilities of visions and hallucinations of going crazy like Slade did on the show. So it's possible that the two might be connected. And it would be kind of cool to see that kind of interconnection there. Originally, when they were trying to cast for Hourman, they were talking about someone trying to live up to the reputation of his World War II ancestors. So it's quite possible that this Rex Tyler may not even be the first. Maybe it could be more like a combination of Rex Tyler, the originator of it, and Rick Tyler, the second. Maybe this Rex Tyler is like the grandson of the original Rex Tyler that created it. Who knows? But that's the cool thing about it, is we're going to get to see more of that explored, especially considering we're going to get to see, at one point, a 4-episode crossover that coming this fall of Supergirl, The Flash, Arrow, and Legends of Tomorrow. So we could be looking at some pretty cool stuff here. What's going to tie them all together? Well, if Mirakuru is a connection to Miraclo, Barry Allen first appeared as a CSI from Central City, looking into the strange and unusual. Because of this, he helped out the Arrow before he became the Flash. Caitlin Snow and Cisco Ramon also helped out when Barry was in the coma, but worked on synthesizing an antidote to it. So, this could be the one thing that truly ties all of that together. Could the thing that creates the crossover be connected to Miraclo and Hourman itself? Like I said, it's speculation. It's currently the beginning of June, so I wouldn't be surprised if we don't start seeing sizzle reels or teasers coming in time, like the later part of July or August. I believe that the shows are going to be coming back around September or so, September or October. So we've got a bit of time, but hey, I'm just trying to put the information out there so you guys can check it out. See for yourself more about the Tylers and the super drug Miraclo. Now, here's a question. Knowing what we know about Mirakuru or Miraclo, okay, think about it. Having all those superpowers and benefits for just 1 hour at a time, but you run the risk of being addicted. We also know about Mirakuru, that it's really painful when it's injected. If you don't have the right stuff in you, you could die bleeding from your eyes. But you would become super strong, smarter, faster, everything. But you also run the risk of either becoming physically deformed or mentally unstable. So, here's a question for my audience here. If you had the choice only between Mirakuru, Venom, from that Bane uses, or Miraclo, Out of those three derivatives of what these superpower drugs could be, which one would you choose and why? I just like to get the discussion going. You guys know me. You take a look at my comments and stuff. I love to go off on this thing. So please, discuss. Talk about it. And now you know a little bit more about Hourman and the lineage that is the man of the hour. So, what do you guys think about what's coming up? Please like, comment, subscribe, share, pass this bad boy around, and I look forward to hearing what you guys have to say. Until next time, Dave signing off. Peace. Yum yum.